The planet lay under a sky painted in strange hues of green and purple. Liam's shuttle drifted slowly toward the surface, its engines humming softly against the quiet of space. He had never seen anything like this world before, with jagged rock formations that seemed to scrape the clouds and rivers of liquid that shimmered in colors he couldn't name. His mission was simple, or so it seemed: scout the abandoned research station and report back. Yet, as the shuttle's lights touched the metallic hull of the station, he felt a twinge of unease. Something about the place didn't feel empty. Liam's boots clicked against the metal floor as he stepped into the station. The air smelled faintly metallic, and the low hum of the failing life support system filled the silence. He had trained for countless scenarios, but nothing had prepared him for this eerie quiet. Panels flickered on and off, some still showing alien symbols he could not decipher. It was clear the station had once been busy with activity, but now it was abandoned, at least on the surface. As he explored deeper, he noticed movement in the shadows. Liam's hand instinctively went to his side, where his standard issue sidearm rested. But what emerged from the darkness was not hostile. A figure stepped into the dim light and he froze. She was unlike anyone he had ever seen. Her skin shimmered faintly under the station's failing lights, almost as if it carried a soft inner glow. Her eyes, large and luminescent, studied him with sharp intelligence. She was tall and lean, her movements fluid and deliberate. In her hands she held a small device, which she quickly pointed at him, clearly cautious but not aggressive. "Who are you?" Liam asked, keeping his voice steady. A soft mechanical hum emanated from her device. Words formed slowly in his ear, translated by the alien tech. "I am Isla," she said. "I have been here alone." Her voice carried weariness but also something resolute, like someone who had endured long isolation. Liam lowered his hand slightly. "I'm Liam. I came to check this station. Are you stranded here?" Isla's lips pressed together. She looked toward the main console, then back at him. "Yes, months. No one came." She paused. "Until now." The two of them stood in silence for a moment. Liam noticed the exhaustion etched into her posture, the faint tremor in her hands. She wasn't dangerous. She was tired, desperate, and human enough to show it. Despite the differences in their species, a thread of understanding formed between them, subtle but undeniable. "I can help," Liam said cautiously. "Maybe get the systems running again. Then we can signal for extraction." Isla tilted her head, studying him. Her eyes reflected a mixture of doubt and hope. Finally, she nodded. "Perhaps." Night fell quickly on this alien world, faster than Liam had anticipated. The station's external lights flickered, casting long, jagged shadows across the walls. Outside, the wind swept strange, colorful dust across the landscape, rattling the hull. Liam felt a chill and realized the station's temperature control was failing. He glanced at Isla, who had already noticed the same issue. She motioned toward a small sleeping quarter in the corner of the station. There was only one bed, narrow and clearly designed for a single occupant. Liam hesitated, suddenly aware of how tight the space would be. Isla's gaze held his unflinching. "One bed," she whispered. The translation device rendered the words clearly. "No rules." Liam blinked, understanding immediately. She wasn't suggesting anything inappropriate, she meant survival. The room was small, cold, and dangerous if left alone. Sharing the bed was a matter of warmth and safety. He swallowed, nodding silently. He stepped closer, feeling awkward in the confined space. Isla slid under the covers without hesitation, her movements confident despite her exhaustion. Liam followed, adjusting to the small area beside her. The bed creaked slightly under their weight, and for a moment they simply lay there, listening to the hum of the failing systems. "You survived here?" Liam asked, breaking the silence. Isla nodded. "I had food, water, tools, but alone it is not easy. Time becomes long." She turned slightly to face him, her eyes reflecting the dim glow of the console. Do you know what it is like to wait, knowing no one will come? Liam shook his head. I can imagine. I've trained for isolation for missions, but not like this, not this long. They shared stories as best they could, using gestures, broken words, and the translator. Liam spoke of Earth, of human cities, of forests and oceans he missed even on missions like this. Isla spoke of her planet, her research, the importance of the station, and the experiments she had conducted. Slowly, the space between them grew less awkward. They were two intelligent beings, caught together in a situation neither could control, and yet cooperating silently. Hours passed. The station creaked and groaned, a reminder of its age and the threats outside. Liam moved to check the control panels, pressing buttons, running diagnostics. Sparks flew from one corner, but he worked quickly, carefully. Isla assisted, pointing out symbols and sequences on the screens he couldn't decipher. Together, they pieced together the failing systems, a small victory in an otherwise precarious situation. Suddenly, the station emitted a loud warning tone. Red lights flashed across the walls, painting the room in harsh crimson. Liam froze, staring at the console. "What is that?" he asked, panic rising. Isla's expression hardened. "Something approaches. I do not know, but it is not friendly." She moved to the viewing screen, scanning the horizon. Liam joined her, eyes wide as he saw it too. From the clouds above, shadows moved, ships unlike anything in human archives, sleek, dark, fast. They were descending, and the atmosphere of the planet seemed to shiver in their wake. Liam swallowed hard. "We need a plan," Isla nodded. "Yes, systems are weak, but we can prepare. We can hide. We can survive if we work together." The two of them moved quickly, coordinating with a mixture of human intuition and alien logic. Liam ran to the storage units, pulling tools and equipment. Isla monitored the energy grids, diverting power to defensive systems that had long been dormant. The station was not built for a battle, but with ingenuity and speed, they converted it into a temporary fortress. As they worked, the tension was palpable. Every creak of metal, every flicker of light, every shadow outside could be a threat. Yet, in the midst of fear, they found rhythm. Liam followed Isla's guidance, trusting her instincts, and she relied on his practical knowledge of improvisation and human engineering. At one point, a section of the station rattled violently as if something massive had struck it. Liam grabbed Isla's arm, steadying her. "Are you okay?" She nodded, though her eyes betrayed concern. "Yes, but we must move faster." Finally, the initial preparations were complete. The life support was marginally stabilized. Temporary shields were activated, and they had a rudimentary alert system for the approaching ships. Both were breathing heavily, sweat and tension coating their skin, but the station stood. For now. Liam looked at Isla. We did it." She allowed herself a faint smile. "For now." Her gaze softened as she looked at him. "You are different. Humans, you are not easy to predict." He chuckled softly, feeling a spark of pride. "And you aliens, you are tougher than I imagined." They returned to the bed, exhaustion overtaking caution. Despite the danger outside, they lay side by side, sharing warmth in the only way possible. The red lights still flashed faintly, casting their faces in a surreal glow. Liam felt the bond of trust growing, fragile but undeniable. Through the night, they stayed alert in shifts, whispering strategies, recounting stories, and finding comfort in a shared presence. Liam realized that survival wasn't just about skill. It was about connection, understanding, and sometimes simply being there for someone else. The warning signals outside had not stopped, and the unknown fleet loomed closer. But within the small station, humanity and alien intelligence had found a rhythm. Together, they would face whatever came next. The night was long, and the planet unforgiving, but in that one bed, under the flickering lights of a dying station, Liam and Isla discovered something essential: cooperation, courage, and the spark of hope that neither species could face the void alone. And as the horizon darkened with the approaching shapes, Liam whispered softly, more to himself than anyone else. "We'll make it through together." The warning lights kept flashing, red and urgent, as Liam and Isla worked quickly to stabilize the station. Outside, the strange alien fleet hovered in the thick atmosphere, their forms partially hidden by swirling green clouds. Liam peered through the viewport, trying to make sense of their shapes. Sleek, fast, and deadly, the ship seemed almost alive, moving in precise patterns that suggested intelligence and strategy. The day began with a strange calm, almost deceptive after the long, tense night. Liam and Isla moved through the station, checking systems and repairing damages sustained during the alien fleet's assault. The station, though battered, was holding. The shields flickered slightly but remained operational, and life support hummed steadily. Liam wiped sweat from his brow and looked at Isla. She was focused, moving with efficiency, but there was a quiet tension in her posture. They both knew the danger was not entirely gone. "They may have retreated, but they are not gone," Isla said, her glowing eyes scanning the horizon through the viewport. "They will return if they perceive weakness." Liam nodded. "Then we make sure they never find one." Together, they continued repairs. Liam focused on the mechanical aspects, rewiring damaged circuits, reinforcing the hull, and recalibrating energy nodes. Isla handled the alien technology, adjusting controls, recalibrating the energy traps, and analyzing data from the approaching fleet. Their cooperation was seamless now, each anticipating the other's moves, a blend of human intuition and alien precision. As they worked, Liam thought about the journey that had brought him here. He had trained for countless missions, faced hostile environments, and survived dangerous encounters, but nothing compared to this. Here, on an alien world with an intelligent being unlike any he had ever encountered, survival required more than skill. It required trust, strategy, and courage beyond the ordinary. Isla spoke quietly, breaking his thoughts. "We are ready, Liam. If they come, we can face them together." He glanced at her, feeling the weight of her words. "Together," he agreed. It was more than a statement, it was a promise, a bond formed through danger and perseverance. Hours passed. The alien fleet did not appear immediately. Liam and Isla used the time to reinforce the station further, setting additional traps, adjusting energy flows, and preparing for potential boarding attempts. Their teamwork had evolved. Liam suggested improvements based on human engineering principles, and Isla implemented them with precise calculations. Together, they had turned the fragile station into a fortified position capable of defending against a force much larger than themselves. Then, the warning sensors flared again. Red lights swept the walls, and a low hum vibrated through the station. Liam ran to the viewport and his stomach tightened. The fleet had returned, larger and more organized. The ships moved with purpose, scanning the planet systematically. It was clear they had learned from the previous encounter. They were no longer testing, they were planning an attack. "We need to act fast," Liam said, adrenaline surging. "They won't give us time this time." Isla nodded. "We will use everything we have. Human ingenuity combined with alien technology. They may be strong, but we are clever." The battle began with a deafening roar as the fleet descended toward the station. Liam and Isla activated all available defenses. Energy traps pulsed with intense light, creating zones of disruption around the station. Shields flared as the first ships attempted direct assault, forcing them to retreat slightly before regrouping. Liam watched the readouts carefully, rerouting power to reinforce weakened sections, while Isla calculated the fleet's movements with astonishing speed. The first ship broke through the outer defenses, aiming for the main hull. Liam shouted, "Divert power to the central shield." Isla reacted instantly, pressing a sequence of alien controls. A surge of energy rippled through the station's shields, absorbing the impact. Sparks flew from nearby panels and the hull shuddered under the force. Liam wiped soot from his face and glanced at Isla, Her eyes glowed with determination. "We can do this," she said firmly. "Stay focused." Liam nodded. He moved to deploy additional decoy signals, designed to mislead the alien ships. Each decoy was a careful calculation, a trap meant to exploit the fleet's intelligence and their reliance on analysis over instinct. It was a risky strategy. One mistake could mean destruction, but Liam trusted it, and he trusted Isla's guidance. The alien fleet reacted predictably. They moved toward the decoys, leaving gaps in their formation. Liam activated the energy traps at precise moments, sending pulses that disabled navigation systems in several ships. Sparks of alien technology erupted, and the ships veered off course, disoriented but not destroyed. "They are learning," Isla said, her voice tense. "We must remain unpredictable." Liam adjusted the traps dynamically, using human improvisation to introduce variables the alien fleet could not anticipate. The station pulsed with energy, lights flickering in rhythm with the trap's activation. It was a battle of minds as much as of technology. Every move mattered, every decision had consequences. The fleet regrouped and launched a concentrated assault on the station's power core. Liam shouted, "We have to protect the core at all costs." Isla's hands moved swiftly over the alien console. "Divert auxiliary energy to shields and prepare overload sequence." The overload sequence was risky. It could damage the station if mistimed, but it could also create a powerful countermeasure capable of disabling multiple ships at once. Liam set the timing, coordinating with Isla's calculations. Together, they initiated the sequence. A surge of energy rippled outward, striking the incoming ships. Several faltered, systems failing as the overload disrupted their electronics. The fleet wavered, then began to retreat. Liam and Isla watched, relief mingled with exhaustion. Their combined ingenuity had turned the tide, but the battle was not yet over. One larger ship, faster and more aggressive than the others, remained. It aimed directly at the station, ignoring traps and shields. Liam's heart pounded. Isla now. She activated the station's remaining defensive array, focusing all energy on one final surge. The ship struck, and for a moment time seemed to freeze. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and the station shuddered violently. Then the larger ship was repelled, systems critically damaged. It veered off, following the retreating fleet into the clouds. The silence afterward was almost deafening. Liam and Isla stood together, breathing heavily, hearts racing, their bodies coated in sweat and grime. They had survived. The alien fleet had been forced to retreat, not by brute force but by intellect, strategy, and teamwork. Isla turned to Liam. "You humans, you are capable of remarkable courage. I underestimated you." Liam smiled, exhausted but triumphant. "And you aliens, your knowledge and skill incredible. Together we made it." They moved through the station, checking systems one last time. The damage was extensive, but they had stabilized everything enough to call for extraction. Liam accessed the communications array, sending a detailed signal back to human command. Within hours, a human fleet would arrive to secure the station and extract them both. As the station quieted, Liam and Isla returned to the small sleeping quarter. The battle had forged a deep bond between them. They shared warmth, side by side, not out of necessity this time, but out of mutual respect and understanding. Neither spoke immediately, both lost in thoughts of the battle and what they had achieved together. Finally, Isla broke the silence. "Tomorrow, we leave this world, but I will not forget this experience." Liam nodded. "Neither will I. Humanity may reach the stars, but it is the courage and cooperation that matter most. We survived because we trusted each other, because we used our minds, because we refused to give up." Isla smiled faintly. "We are stronger together than apart." The sun rose over the jagged alien landscape, painting the sky in shades of green and gold. The alien fleet was gone, and the station stood, battered but alive. Liam and Isla gazed out the viewport, knowing that the universe was vast and full of unknown dangers. Yet they had faced the impossible and emerged victorious. As they prepared for the arrival of human ships, Liam felt a sense of pride not just in his own survival, but in what humanity represented. Ingenuity, courage, adaptability, qualities that allowed them to thrive even in the most alien of circumstances. And alongside Isla, he realized that cooperation between species could unlock possibilities far beyond what either could achieve alone. Hours later, the human fleet appeared in orbit, sleek ships casting shadows over the planet. Liam activated the extraction beacon. A signal pulsed outward and a small craft descended to the station. As the ramp lowered, Liam and Isla stood side by side, ready to leave the planet that had tested them so fiercely. The alien scientist looked at Liam. "This experience, it has changed me. I see now that strength is not just power, it is intelligence, courage, and trust." Liam smiled. "And humanity, well, we like to think we have plenty of all three." They boarded the extraction ship, leaving the strange world behind. Liam glanced back one last time at the station, the battlefield that had become a proving ground for human ingenuity and alien collaboration. He knew this was only the beginning. The universe was full of challenges, but humanity had shown it could rise to them. Isla sat beside him, her presence a calm reminder of the bond they had forged. Liam realized that survival was more than enduring danger. It was about connection, understanding, and using every resource wisely. Together, they had turned a desperate situation into a triumph, and together, they would face whatever came next. As the ship ascended into the alien sky, leaving the planet and its strange green clouds behind, Liam felt a surge of hope. Humanity had not only survived, they had proven their worth, and with allies like Isla, they were ready for the stars. The journey ahead would be long, the universe vast and unpredictable, but Liam knew one truth above all. Courage, intelligence, and cooperation could overcome even the greatest threats. And in that small, abandoned station on a distant planet, humanity had proven itself. "We need to strengthen the shields," Isla said, her voice calm but firm. "They will not stop on their own. This station is weak." Liam nodded, scanning the panels. "I can reroute power, but it will take every ounce of energy. Some systems will have to shut down temporarily." Isla's glowing eyes met his. "Do it. We have no choice." For the next hour they worked side by side. Liam climbed over exposed panels, rewiring circuits and checking energy conduits. Sparks flew, and the hum of electricity filled the small room. Isla monitored the alien fleet through the sensors, giving precise instructions. Her hands moved over the console with practiced skill, pressing buttons and adjusting readings Liam could barely understand. At one point, a large shadow passed over the station. The hull shook violently. Liam stumbled but regained balance, glancing at Isla. She had already anticipated it, her fingers dancing across the controls, diverting power to stabilize the station. "That was close," Liam muttered. "Yes," Isla replied, "too close. They are testing us." As the minutes ticked by, the two of them formed a rhythm. Liam handled the physical repairs, while Isla guided him through the complex alien technology. Despite the danger, Liam couldn't help noticing her focus, her calm under pressure, and the intelligence in her every movement. He had seen humans work under pressure, but the way Isla combined logic with intuition was extraordinary. Finally, the shields were stabilized, at least enough to withstand minor impacts. Liam wiped sweat from his brow and leaned against a panel. "We're not safe, but at least we have a chance." Isla nodded, but her attention remained on the viewport. The alien ships were circling, scanning, analyzing. "They are not attacking directly," she said. "They want to see what we can do." Liam frowned. "So they want to test us before deciding." "Yes," she replied. "They understand strength and intelligence. They will not underestimate those who survive challenges." The two of them sat for a moment, catching their breath, and Liam realized how much trust had developed between them. He knew nothing about Isla's species beyond what she had told him, and yet he felt a bond forming. It was strange to feel camaraderie with someone so different, but necessity had a way of breaking barriers. Suddenly, the sensors beeped rapidly. Liam and Isla exchanged a glance. The alien ships were moving faster now, descending toward the surface. "They are coming closer," Liam said. Isla's fingers flew over the controls. "We must prepare defenses. I have a plan, but it will require coordination." Liam nodded. "Tell me what to do." She instructed him to deploy energy traps around the station. Using portable power nodes and the station's remaining energy reserves, they created a network designed to disrupt incoming ships. Liam moved quickly, placing the nodes with precision, while Isla adjusted their frequencies to match the alien technology. It was a delicate process, and failure could mean destruction. Hours passed, the planet's night stretching endlessly. The storm outside worsened, winds howling and shaking the station. Liam's muscles ached, but he pressed on, encouraged by Isla's quiet confidence. She moved like a shadow, efficient and precise, never wasting energy or motion. Finally, the preparations were complete. They activated the traps and watched as the alien fleet approached. Lights danced across the hull as the ship scanned for weaknesses. Liam's heart pounded. He had never faced anything like this in his career, yet he felt a strange sense of calm. He was not alone, and with Isla they had a chance. The first ship descended rapidly, testing the station's defenses. Sparks flew as the energy traps activated, sending waves of interference that disrupted the ship systems. It veered off, retreating slightly before regrouping with the others. Liam let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "They respect strength," Isla said softly. "This is why we survive." The fleet made another approach, more coordinated this time. Liam and Isla worked in sync, adjusting traps, rerouting power, and monitoring energy levels. It was a battle of intellect rather than brute force. Each decision mattered. Each action could tip the scales. Hours turned into a tense cycle of preparation and observation. Liam learned to anticipate Isla's commands before she spoke, and she began to trust his judgment in moments when speed mattered. Together, they formed a team neither could have imagined alone. At one point, a large ship broke through the outer defenses and aimed directly at the station's main hull. Liam shouted, "Isla, now!" She reacted instantly, rerouting power to the last remaining shield generator. The impact sent a shockwave through the station, shaking the walls and throwing them both to the floor. The lights flickered, and alarms blared. Liam struggled to regain his footing, heart racing. Isla was already back at the controls, calm and focused, stabilizing the station once more. "We can hold them," she said firmly, "but we must be clever." Liam nodded. "We'll outthink them." Using a combination of human improvisation and Isla's alien knowledge, they devised a strategy. Liam would lure the ships into the energy traps using decoy signals, while Isla controlled the station's remaining power to maximize disruption. It was risky, but it was their best chance. The first decoy activated, sending a false signal into the clouds. The alien ships adjusted course, moving toward it. Liam held his breath, watching the energy traps light up and pulse. One by one, the ships faltered, systems glitching as the traps took effect. Isla's eyes shone with satisfaction. "It works. Keep it steady." They repeated the process, each cycle more tense than the last. Liam's body was exhausted, but adrenaline kept him moving. He realized that survival wasn't just about strength or technology. It was about patience, observation, and courage under pressure. As dawn approached, the alien fleet hesitated. Their attacks became less frequent, their movements more cautious. Liam and Isla maintained their strategy, exploiting every weakness, every hesitation. Finally, after hours of tense maneuvering, the fleet retreated into the clouds, leaving the station intact. Liam slumped against a console, relief washing over him. We did it. They're gone for now. Isla allowed herself a small smile. Yes, we survived. She looked at him, her glowing eyes reflecting gratitude and something deeper, respect, trust, and understanding. Human courage, it is remarkable. Liam chuckled softly. And alien intelligence, just as remarkable. We make a good team. For the first time since the arrival on this strange world, they allowed themselves to relax. Liam moved to the small bed, exhausted, and Isla joined him. They shared warmth in silence, neither needing to speak. The battle had bonded them, forged trust between species separated by vast distances and differences. As the sun rose over the jagged landscape, Liam looked out the viewport. The alien fleet had disappeared, but the planet still held mysteries and dangers. Yet with Isla by his side, he felt hope. Humanity had survived the test, and together they could face whatever came next. Isla turned to him. Tomorrow we repair the station fully. Then we can call for extraction. But we are not just surviving, we are learning, together. Liam nodded, understanding. And maybe we'll find out why they came here in the first place. The night had been long, and the battle had been grueling. But in that small, abandoned station on an alien world, a human and an alien had discovered something essential: cooperation, trust, and the extraordinary power of combining intellect and courage. For Liam, it was a revelation. Humanity could face the unknown, adapt, and thrive, even among the stars, even against threats they had never imagined. And with Isla, he realized that survival wasn't the only thing that mattered. Connection, understanding, and courage were just as vital. They rested as the planet's strange winds howled outside, the flickering lights of the station finally stabilizing. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but tonight they had survived together, and that was victory enough.